midterms. So what we're about to report to you right now is something you kind of already know. Donald Trump's one of the least popular presidents ever, along with something that is actually really underappreciated by the political and media class, that Donald Trump's problems with governing and his aides' crimes are now weighing down his presidency. So while it's become sort of fashionable in political circles to say things like Trump is Teflon or his base never wavers, in a new poll tonight, his approval has fallen to 36%, a drop of 6% in this new CNN poll, and a full 61% of Americans view him unfavorably. And it gets worse, with those who strongly disapprove of Trump at 48%. Those are the kinds of voters who are likely to turn out against Trump in November. Independents also giving up on Trump. You can see it in this chart. They were all the way up at 47% just last month. And what you're looking at is a key data point slide, a huge shift to 31% that actually marks, get this, an all-time low for Trump among independents tonight. It has now been 3 weeks since Trump's campaign manager was convicted and his top fixer pled guilty to committing crimes to help elect him. Plus, of course, the separate indictments of his congressional endorsers and the Bob Woodward reporting that has rocked this White House with serious evidence of incompetence and high-level revolt. Plus, of course, in these last 3 weeks, we also had the dramatic anonymous declaration of resistance by one of Trump's own senior aides. So all of this stuff is happening. And we in the news cover it for you, and people say, okay, what next? Well, tonight is what's next. The collective response in the country has people pulling further away from Donald Trump. You can see it in the gradual softening in this survey from multiple polls. This is from the polling experts over at 538. Trump needs approval in roughly the 40s for the GOP to have a realistic chance of holding the House, according to experts. And we know that because of the data. In elections since 1946, any decline in a president's approval hurts their party. A little bit less than it hurts them, but hurts. So as Trump drops 5 to 6 points, that can cost Republicans 2 points in the House. And with Trump at 36% tonight, well, where does that put him against his worst times? We're going to leave it up on the screen for you here. You can see, as compared to firing Comey, which was very controversial, or compared to when he had that widely panned summit with Putin, which many conservatives criticized, or Charlottesville. What you see currently on the far left, the 36% tonight, is a near record low, right on par with where he was after Charlottesville. And as Donald Trump plummets and the walls close in today, his own son concedes Trump has a circle of trust that is much smaller than they want.
I think there are people in there that he can trust. It's a much smaller group than I would like it to be.
Who do you trust?
Well, I'll keep that to myself.
And they're not family?
Well, obviously, yeah, I'm talking outside of family. I think that one goes without saying.
A much smaller group than they would like. That's a statement about who Donald Trump trusts. And if you think about it, it gets the whole concept backwards. We live in a democracy. It may not feel like that on certain days, but we do. And that means the important question is who the voters trust. And although the White House might be making all kinds of noise to distract you from this information on your screen, the fact is, voters do not trust or approve of Trump tonight. Overall, 61% view him unfavorably, and among independents, you see it down to 31%, which is a record-breaking low. Now, Donald Trump started his presidency with a resistance that was literally larger than his base because he lost the popular vote. Tonight, we can report, after everything that's happened, that resistance is growing.